Smithy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. This bill is pretty straightforward and simple. It just says that a local community cannot use, a municipality cannot use taxpayer funds to bond people, bail people out of jail. And there was a dispute as to whether this was happening in Harris County. I saw the ledger entries, and I think the arguments are on both sides that it was happening or wasn't happening. And we're not here to adjudicate that today. We're just saying that it shouldn't happen in the future. This is not a good use of taxpayer money, so I would move passage.
Mr. Wu, in favor of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'm going to support this legislation because I think it does bring a little balance to what is in the law right now. But I want to say one quick thing, just as Mr. Chair Smithy said, a lot of the basis of why this bill started is based on a lie. That in Harris County, nonprofit organizations were paying bails themselves, and when they got that money returned to them, because somebody went to court and their case was satisfied, they used that funds to do other bail bonds. And this was something that they're legally allowed to do, and they're legally allowed to do that even after this legislation passes. But because of that, people use fear-mongering and other things to drive this narrative. But I think this bill has provisions in it that makes it better for both sides and provides some safeguards in the future. I would urge you to vote yes.
Gervin, for what purpose?
Mr. Speaker, would the gentleman yield?
Gentleman yield for questions?
I'll be happy to.
He yields for questions.
You mentioned nonprofits, and this it says political subdivisions. Are we talking about the local municipalities, or what are we talking about?
Yes, so the law itself that is being proposed in this legislation is directed at governmental entities who do not have the ability to bail people out in the first place. So essentially what this law would do is ban the counties and the cities from doing something that they're already not allowed to do.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Smithy to close.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would move.
Ms.
Mr.
Weiner, for what
Speaker.
purpose?
Will the gentleman yield for a question?
Does the gentleman yield for questions? He yields for questions.
Thank you so much, Representative Smithy. I just want to make sure I understand. Your legislation does not ban organizations that do that pay any bail bonds from receiving a grant from a local entity, correct? It just receives them from, or prevents them from spending the money on the bail.
Yes, it prevents tax. It does not prevent nonprofit organizations that are formed for that purpose. It just says that a municipality can't use taxpayer funds to support those nonprofit entities.
Well, I'm sorry, let me clarify. So if you have a nonprofit entity, and let's say it has two wings, one wing does some of this bail relief, another wing does, say, educational work, could that nonprofit entity still receive a grant for the education work so long as they're not commingling those funds?
I don't see anything in the language of the bill that would prevent that. It just says that taxpayer funds cannot be used to provide bail to bail people out of jail.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'd move passage.
Question occurs on passage third reading. Record vote. Clerk, ring the bell. Mr. Smithy voting aye. Have all members voted? Have all members, Ms. Leo Wilson voting aye. Have all members voted? 132 ayes and 13 nays. Senate Bill 40 passes to third reading. Sweeter, for what purpose?